Hey guys, welcome to your standing strength building muscle memory warm up. Feet are about hips width distance apart. Starting with your head, I would like you guys to do some head rolls. So just make some half circles from right to left and repeat this 8 times. Once you're finished, I want you to take both arms overhead and place both of your hands on the back of your head. Feel free to move your head in half circles while pressing down at the same time. Do this for 5 times. Once you've finished, I want you to contract and reach your spine. So you're going to contract forward, and when you come up, I want you to feel a lengthening sensation. So try to make your spine as tall as possible. When you contract, I want you to roll from the base of your spine through each vertebrae, ending with your head, and then reach your arms forward. Do this for 5 times. Come up, inhale, contract and bend at the knees, exhale. Next, we are going to do plie and releves 5 times. So a plie is a bend at the knees, releves is just simply coming up on your tiptoes. Do this 5 times. Inhale, come up and releve. Exhale, plie. Now we're going to put both of those moves together. So we're going to contract and reach, and then when we come up, we're going to releve. So on the contract, we're going to bend our legs and contract our spine, and then when we reach, we're going to lengthen our spine and come up into our releve onto our tiptoes. Do this with me about 8 times. Inhale, come up. Exhale, contract. Next, we're going to do lunge kickback. So in ballet, the kickback is actually called an arabesque, and we're going to do this 8 times. So what's going to happen is your toes are going to swipe the floor. You're going to breathe, inhale when the leg comes up, exhale when the leg comes down, and then you're going to lunge. Do this 8 times and then repeat on the other side. So I really want you to control your leg down, and the way you're going to do that and the way you're going to keep your balance is by engaging your core. So you can see that my hands are on my hips to ensure that not only my hips are squared, but that my core is engaged and my shoulders are pressed down as well. Whenever you're ready, move on to the next side. And do this with me 8 times. Inhale, back leg goes up. Exhale, down. So for our next move, I'm going to throw some ballet terms at you. So we're going to start in a parallel fourth position. So it looks just like that in this lunge position that you're seeing me do here. I want you to pull the toes in like you see I'm doing here, and then you're going to bend the leg at the knee, bring the toes up to your knee, and then extend them out into a straight position. This in ballet terms is called a développé. So all of these terms are in the glossary that can be found at the bottom of the program. Do this 8 times, then repeat on the other side. Now, don't forget to focus on your feet here. When your foot brushes against the ground, you should feel friction, and then when it comes up to straighten, you should point your toes as hard as you can. And when you're ready, meet me on the other side. Inhale, développé kick. Exhale, down. Plie. Remember to keep your hips square here. This is not about how high you can get the leg. This is actually just muscle memory. It's strength building. It's working those little muscles. I also want you to get in the habit of being more aware of your feet. So you should be able to feel friction as you bring your foot in, and then I want you to remember to point those toes each time your leg comes up. Once you've done this move with me 8 times, we're going to start focusing on our hips. So for the next move, this move is actually called an attitude. So we're in a parallel side attitude. It just means that you're bent at the knee, but your foot is actually coming away from the body as if you're about to do a kick. So there's a significant amount of space between your heel and your glutes. So we're going to alternate this move 8 times. Feel free to raise your arms up to the sky if you'd like a little bit of a challenge. So next we're just going to do alternating hip rotations. So you're going to rotate your knee outwards. We're going to do this 5 times on either side. I want you to continue to be in the attitude position. So you're going to have that foot kind of away from the body. And then we're going to repeat this move in the opposite direction. So feel free, you can have your hands on your hips. Otherwise, I like to have my hands overhead. It kind of just helps to engage your core. Next, I want you to step out into a wide second position, meaning that your feet are angled outwards. Make sure that your knees are going directly over your feet every time you bend your legs for a plie, and that you're not rolling your knees inward. So you should have knee to foot alignment. Take a deep breath in, raise your arms overhead, and then exhale. Clasp your hands together overhead, lower your shoulders down, and tuck your rib cage in. I want you to do some half circles with a plie. So each time you come to the center, you're going to bend your knees. Do this 8 times. Make sure that you're contracting forward and using your spine each time like I'm doing. Kind of drawing little half circles with our fingers. So use your entire spine here. Breathe when you come to the side, inhale. When you move to the center, exhale. Once you're finished, you can come back to center and place both hands on your hips. Next, we're going to do alternate forced arch plies 8 times. So forced arch just means that you're at the highest possible point of your tiptoes. So basically what we're doing is we're applying pressure on the ball of our foot. The ball of our foot is just below our toes. So that's the place where you go right on top of your foot to your tiptoes. Make sure that your knees are not rolling inward. Once again, you should always have knee to foot or knee to ankle alignment. So now what I want you to do is hold in a forced arch position. So you're going to come up to the highest point where your toes can reach, and then you're going to bend your knees. So we're going to bend and straighten our legs 8 times, and the goal here is to keep your heels up in the highest position the entire time. It's very challenging, but I want you to really try going as deep as possible in the plie. So when you bend your legs, go as deep as you possibly can, and then come all the way up and straighten your legs each time. Remember not to roll your knees in. And once you finish that, I want you to hold in the lowest possible position for 5, heels up for 4, breathe in for 3, breathe out for 2, release 1. Now we're getting super ballet-y here. We're going to do some second jumps. So that just means that we're going to jump, and each time we come off the ground, you need to make sure your knees are splaying over your feet and your toes are pointing as hard as you can each time you come up. We're going to do this 12 times. I want you to have an awareness of your upper body as well. So you can see that my arms, they're kind of staying in the same position. That means my shoulders are pressed down and my core is engaged. So make sure you're doing the same. Also, make sure to not stick your booty out. That is not part of ballet. Good job.